Beginning transmission. This is the audio log of Dr. Cool, O5 Command, as well as Supreme Commander of Mobile Task Force 023, aka the Kitchen Sink. Hello everyone. Now, when dealing with certain Keter class SCPs, there are certain types that are highly contagious to the average human organism. One specific SCP in question is SCP-610. Now, ever since the collapse of the Soviet Union and the Soviet Socialist Republics in 1991, Russia has been shown to be an highly active site for this SCP. This is why, with a recent newer outbreak within the past month, I have been called here to Russia. Let me tell you, Russia in the middle of December, in its coldest months, is not very pleasant. I personally prefer more warmer weather than usual colder weather, but then again, who can argue? Anyway, my team, I've dispatched my Mobile Task Force units to deal with the procedure, as 5 more farmers have suddenly gone missing. But, since they are searching the area, I will read the article in question. So, here we go. Item number SCP-610, Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Due to the vast area of infection SCP-610 covers, containment is impossible. Isolation of the area has proven far more effective, and permission has been granted by the Russian government to establish a perimeter to keep people out of these areas under the guise of military operations. Should any organism displaying traits consistent with SCP-610 be sighted near this perimeter, then the established protocol requires it be engaged at range with firearms until immobile, then dispatched using fire from as far as a distance as possible. Any living thing coming in physical contact with an organism infected with SCP-110, or 610, is considered expendable and is to be immediately dispatched using fire-based equipment. Any persons coming within 3 meters of SCP-610 infected life are to immediately withdraw from the area, be isolated from the rest of their team, and subjected to medical experimentation, and using only remote techniques to determine if infection has occurred and appropriate steps taken based on that determination. At present, the known infection vectors for SCP-610 spread seem to be focused on physical contact. Drone movements within heavily infected areas have returned air samples containing molten particulate, which, when exposed to organic compounds, will result in an SCP-610 spread. The results of these particular tests have given most required several days to manifest, if at all, with the exception of direct contact with exposed lung and liver tissue. These particular tests show a rapid rate of growth, which requires incineration of the testing environment no less than 24 hours after initial exposure, with even a 2-hour mishap risking a compromised facility event. Given this kind of rapid growth only occurs in organic material, and is at current considered a minor concern. These particularities have given rise to a series of questions regarding the possible origin of the infection in conjunction with the failed containment protocol. Remains as a scorched earth policy at this time. No concern for transmission via water or air at infection perimeters exists, bearing situational changes in the field. Description: initial reports of SCP-1610 came direct from the Russian government through undisclosed channels. These reports consisted primarily of disappearances of farmers in the region, and were not considered until the local police, followed by regional police, and finally a government-dispatched agent, all failed to report within a 72-hour period. A small military contingent was dispatched to the area and quickly withdrew, at which point the Foundation was contacted to investigate. The area SCP-610 affects is close to Lake Bakala in southern Siberia. Areas of known infection are marked on the map provided to us here. Containment parameters are marked in blue surrounding these infected areas, and as of present no further locations have been identified. Incursions into the perimeter must be reported prior to conducting, confirmed during exploitation, and debriefed on immediately following return. SCP-610 appears to be a contagious skin disease, at first with symptoms including rash, itching, and increased skin sensitivity. Within 3 hours of the disease will cause blemishes, resulting in heavy scarring tissue to form in the chest and arm areas, spreading to the legs and back within an additional hour, consuming the victim completely within 5 hours. Exposure to high temperatures vastly decreases the time for the contagion to spread, and complete infections have been recorded occurring as little as 5 minutes. After the completion of the infection occurs, the victim's life functions will cease for approximately 3 minutes, after which time they will restart at 2 to 3 times the activity rate of a normal human. Following this, the scar tissue on the victims will start to move on its own accord and grow at a rapid rate. Normal human features start to disappear at this point under the infection, and the path of the mutation appears to be largely random. Subjects observed in this stage of infection have been recorded as growing 3 or more limbs of a type such as arms or legs. The head may become misshapen and elongated or widened out, and parts of the subject may split open from which additional branches of flesh will grow. The duration of this stage of infection is unknown, and not all subjects appear to progress to the later stages. Under unknown conditions, an infected individual will cease moving and place itself in a location it deems suitable, where it roots itself. The fleshy growth on the victim will then begin to spread itself across all surrounding objects and consume them. Such objects do not spread the infection, as living creatures do, however, and the effect of the prolonged contact with these objects is recorded later in this document. It is assumed that this behavior is to create an area hospitable to continued growth of the other infected. Observation of life infected by SCP-610 by staff is impossible. Those infected with the disease immediately seek out aid as natural human impulse, resulting in an unintended infection. Those infected past scar tissue phase actively and aggressively attempt to infect anyone approaching them within an undefined area. It has been established that should an infected be capable of sight and observe as uninfected, it will proceed toward them. If the infected has lost the ability of sight, a range of approximately 30 meters is considered safe. Observation of SCP-610 infected settlements has been established using artificial methods, such as remote robots. The data returned from these observations, coupled with the openly aggressive nature of the infected to attempt to spread SCP-610, has resulted in the Keter classification. However, so long as nothing is allowed to enter or leave the infected areas, it is considered a neutralized threat. Of concern are the carnivorous areas between the infected settlements that are discovered during the exploration, and attempts to get research personnel into these areas are underway. Now, I do not, unfortunately, have the time to read all the field logs. However, I will provide the link for them in the description below, so other field operatives and agents such as yourself can read these documents. Now, yes, that is all the time that I have for today. I will be joining my squad in eradicating in another village within the sector, and making sure that this contagion does not spread any further. Even though I have complained about the coldness of these Russian Siberian winters, I do admit that the warmth of a flamethrower torching an entire infected village is something that I cannot complain about. Anyway, this is Dr. Cool, 05 Command, signing out.